Go, 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 go.
Hello. What are you doing?
That's the way we should start from now on. People liked it. I can hear it already.
We they
Welcome to Therapy Code.
my
It's been a
first
while.
my first quite well, first I want to say welcome back to Therapy Code. I'm David. We know who that is.
I am Ryan Drizwicki.
And do y'all miss us?
They missed us so much. You missed us. Hey guys, ask David where he's at.
Where am I? Well, I don't technically have a blank wall behind me. It's actually my living room. But I don't have my office fully set up the way I want it to yet. So next time we record in 2 weeks, I will have everything set up. So I'll have more of a studio. Ryan needs to get a studio, but I'll have more of a studio. So super excited about that. I'm in San Jose, California.
And
Absolutely.
Jose.
San Jose. This is not a surprise, is it?
Not to me, but it is to, I don't know. I don't know.
Probably not to anyone who knows me through social media at this point.
So where's San Jose? There's in the there's LA and there's San Francisco
Mhm.
and there's probably some other
So,
cities.
based on your map, there's there's there
Yeah.
well, San Diego down here, LA is here, San Francisco is here,
San Diego. Yep.
San
Uh-huh.
Jose is he no, no,
That
wait.
much further down?
No, no, no. LA, let's say San Diego's down here.
Oh my
LA
god.
is here, San Francisco is here, San Jose is, like, right.
That far?
So,
How long would it
think
take you to get to San Francisco if there were no traffic on the streets?
if there's no traffic, between, like, 30 and 40 minutes
Okay.
to get to San Francisco. If there is traffic, who
2
knows?
hours, 4 hours.
I mean, I'd say probably about an hour, hour 15, worst case scenario.
When I was in
But
San
today, it
Francisco
took me an
last
hour and a half
summer,
to
it
get
took
home. Today, it took me an hour and a half to get home when it should only take about 45 to 50 minutes, so
45. You live that far away from your.
well, here's the thing about California traffic.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
know if this happens in Seattle,
It
but
does.
there's 2 different interstates to take. I don't know how I'm doing this, just the way I look at the map, but there's 2 different interstates to take, and the Google Maps will tell you which one has the longest or shortest time. They're about the same distance. One usually has about 3 to 5 minutes longer, but you get to see where the red spots are. When you are coming home from work Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, there's way more red because people don't know how to act on the road and they get into accidents.
Mhm.
The accidents cause delays. There were 4 accidents between the place where I left work and home today.
That is one more than 3.
That is one more than 3 and one less than 5
Are you
because
sure?
math.
Okay. I will. You're next to the big tech city. I will take your word for it.
I know math now because I live here.
I've learned a little bit being in Seattle, the little tech city.
A little,
We're
little
like San Francisco's baby brother.
technically. So I think where I'm at, I think the region, I believe, is Silicon Valley. So I'm like technically in like the techie land.
You're a Silicon Valley guy, huh?
Hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm practically in Bellevue, so we're really still soul brothers in that way.
So because I'm talking about maps, if you have a map, where is Seattle compared to Bellevue?
Well, much like San Jose, there are 2 highways that go around.
Ryan. That's different.
People,
That's a different kind of highway.
you making it? Never mind. It was showing you that it's very much the same, but Seattle is like halfway on this side, and Bellevue's halfway on this side, and there's a big lake in the middle, Lake Washington.
Okay.
So we live like on Lake Washington, which is giant, and just south of Bellevue, which is where I like to make up things about Bellevue, but pretty sure that there's Microsoft, there's Google, there's you name it. There's a large skyscraper there that is associated with it. So all the techies are around.
Yeah, we've got Microsoft and Google and Netflix and Facebook and Apple. Like there's so many things here. The other day I got cut off by a Google courtesy vehicle where I think their courtesy vehicles like pick up their employees or do some kind of shuttling. But I got cut off by one the other day and I was like, what?
Cool. Does everybody have a Tesla? Everybody's got a Tesla up here.
So many Teslas.
It's also like a very blue city, so everybody's got a Tesla with the little bumper sticker, like "I bought this before I knew he was evil" and all that stuff.
Actually, I have hardly seen any bumper stickers here of any kind.
You got to start something.
Well, I had to lose my cluster plate. Remember my cluster license plate?
You replaced your license plate. You've been there for like 2 days.
Well,
Goody two shoes.
mostly within 30 days. I talked to someone who said they waited a year, but I don't do that. So I
Yeah.
had I had my plates within a week and I installed them within 2 weeks. But
So did you get custom plates?
no. I didn't have the option at the initial registration.
What?
But I also don't really care to just because it
It's California. You should have got a plate that says Bezos. I don't know why.
why?
Maybe you get treated
I
better.
don't
I
have
don't know.
words for that.
Bezos 3, just as a social experiment, like what will happen? Probably
Yeah.
a lot of people will like peer into your car. That could be unsafe. Don't do Bezos. Make it something they don't want to see, like, I don't know, cow porn. That's your new license plate.
What is it?
Cow porn?
What which
No?
means
I don't know. I don't know. So normal license plate, new David, all bald.
I miss tired Ryan. I missed you.
My days are long. I work hard. Leave it all somewhere. You're new David. New
Yeah.
license plates, new shiny head, new
You know what
job, new
you know what's really crazy though? My brother lives 5 minutes from me.
What? Do you see him all the time?
I see him about once a week because he works during the week too. But yeah, I
Do
see
you
him
have a
about
custom license plate?
now. What would his say?
Donkey. Just donkey. You keep it simple. You keep it classy, and then people pay attention.
It's a shame, Ryan, that you and I didn't join an improv class when we lived in Tucson together.
It's Alex Danvers watch. Can you hook us up, Alex? Hey, I
I
had
know.
I had our quality manager call Alex a couple weeks ago.
Did he
We are talking outcomes, and I said, "Well, you got to talk to
oh,
Alex
I thought you were
Danvers."
gonna hire him.
I was going to R him.
Hire him.
Maybe. Think he's open to it? Alex, if you're
Yeah.
out there, give me a wink.
Dr. Danvers, go work for Ryan. I'd offer you a position, but we don't have any psychologists.
Might be able to do it remotely, Alex. I don't know. Anybody in Tucson, you wanna come up? It'd be fun.
Yeah.
My boss, like literally yesterday, was like, "Hey, that one guy that I talked to, and that one reference of yours, why isn't he working here yet?" I said, "Well, he just moved to California."
Did he?
He did. He
What?
loved you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He loved all of my references. He was like, You had the best references ever."
I didn't know
Yes.
that. I would have used you as a reference, but I don't think they needed references from
I feel like it's kind of super outdated. And my boss went all in. I think he had like hour-long conversations with all of my references, so he definitely dove in, but I feel like the standard reference, like I call you and I say, "Was David a good employee?" Like it's so useless. Like,
yeah. Well, you wanna have one of those, like, is this a person that I should hire or not kind of conversations versus
but how many people are serious in that conversation, you know? Like, what if somebody called you on behalf of somebody you had worked with who was just sort of average? Would you be honest or would you just be like, "Yeah, sure. He's great. Hire him."
I have learned to be selective because there are times, as you know, that I hired people because we needed bodies. And I think that's what happened. I was having this conversation with my new boss that, I come from the land of crisis. Like we have to hire now because we don't have enough bodies. So bring the bodies in versus hiring quality. And so being mindful about hiring quality and people who can do the job and do it effectively versus just like, oh, I need someone here, so get this person. That's how you end up with red flags.
I feel like a reference only very rarely gives you information that really speaks to the quality. I feel like people aren't going to give, well, I guess that's what you're trying to catch, right? Like any normal you or I are just going to give references of people that we know are going to say he's great, hire him. But I guess there are some people out there who have done such a poor job that they don't even have 3 people that they could list, and I guess those are the sorts of people you're weeding out when you do references.
So the reference I provided for you and another one of our dear loved ones who asked me to provide one, I gave probably the most glowing reference I've ever given for anyone for you and him. Have you ever given a bad reference? Like somebody trusted you with the reference and you were called and you were like,
When I was very, very young and dumb, yeah, I got blindsided with a reference request from somebody who was like a really poor employee, and I was just like, I think it was might have been my first ever reference request, and I was just like, I don't, you don't want to ask me that question. It's just like, I can I discontinue this process, right?
yeah.
It was not very smooth. I sometimes look back on it and cringe.
I've
I mean,
had one, and usually, like, if somebody would reach out for one and I was working at the place you worked at before, I would just say, "Hey, contact HR. You have to go through HR for references."
right.
But
Yeah,
I had somebody who I had worked with previously who called me directly and said, "Hey, this person is trying to work here. What do you think?" And I was like, "I can't say anything, so I recommend you reach out to the HR department." And this is years after I was out of leadership that time, where I was like, "I recommend you no, 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 no," you know? So it's like, and I think I did tell you about that one, but, but yeah, it's like, it's so interesting. But what's funny about providing the reference for somebody I did recently, that person was already hired before they called me for the reference. And I think that that's what happens. I think that the references probably end up being,
formality.
yeah, a formality that maybe is some kind of requirement or policy of their company or whatever that says you need to have somebody say that, you know, they would refer them. But then if you hire them and then you call and they're like, no, they won't work out probably.
What are you gonna do?
You're SOL at that point. I mean, I guess maybe not. I guess you could fire and start over, but at that
I
point, you're
one
dead.
I rarely run my own reference checks, but I remember I hired somebody once, maybe at APN, and we were impressed enough with her that I called her references, and one of them was like, "Nah, she sucks." And all I did was just tell her, I was like, "Girl, you you better check your references because you got a dud in there." And we
Did
hired
you
her
hire
right away, and I
them?
think she did really well. So
Okay. You know how that goes. That's why it's important to always check with whoever you're asking to provide references to. Hey, would you give me a reference? There have been people who've asked me that when I've had to be like, well, you know, I think you should check with HR on that. Like that's kind of my secret weapon. Like maybe check with HR about getting references.
yeah,
But also, I come from a non-trauma informed leadership background before you and Dane, of course. I come from that background where we were told we couldn't. Like every little bit of control had to come from elsewhere, right? Like there was nothing I could. And so I always got the message like I can't give references. I have to be able to say like, oh, it has to go through HR because I couldn't trust my own judgment and was told that I couldn't say anything anyway.
goodness.
Yeah.
Don't you miss the corporate juggernaut life?
I've got to tell you, not 1 second, Ryan.
Me neither.
Yeah. Mm.
Welcome to Reference Talk with David and Ryan, where we take about employment references.
Well, now that it's public and now that I can talk about where
It's
I work and
true.
what I do, we can do a leadership podcast, like trauma informed leadership, therapy code, therapy leadership. That's what we do. So the
There
therapy code is the code of trauma informed leadership. Bam, tagline.
I think, I did for a while this presentation, and my thesis was therapists tend to make really terrible leaders at first, but
Mm.
long term, the skill set makes therapists the best leaders once they learn all the things that they didn't learn in school. Once you learn about operationalizing stuff and change management and, you know, implementation planning and yada yada yada. Once you learn all of like the nitty-gritty operational stuff, the background in whatever trauma informed leadership makes them incredible. So
I've gotta say that the thing that I really am grateful for you for is that you really taught me what trauma-informed leadership looked like, and so did Dane, and so that's kinda where it started, is being able to have you 2 to show me that you can be a therapy-informed leader and not be totally hateful,
and me can be a leader and not a horrible human being.
but also still get your point across. Like, if something needs to be addressed, there's a way to healthfully say, "Hey, this is something that needs to be worked on." Like,
Mm.
I never felt like the conversations we had about things I needed adjustment on, I never felt like it was shaming or that I was bad. And that's what the difference was, is that I never got that I'm bad because I didn't do something a precise way or something like that.
Yeah. Good stuff. A good boss is a great thing.
So we haven't really picked a topic yet today, but I guess we're just kind of talking.
This is the topic. This is how is David's life? What's
Why
the best restaurant you've been to in San Jose so far?
I love being the star, but why just me? You're the star too.
All right. I don't know the best restaurant I've been to in San Jose. I don't think I've been to San Jose.
So let me tell you about my favorite restaurant in San Jose.
Yeah.
There's this place called Equis. Well, it's not technically in I think they have one in San Jose, but the one I go to in Campbell. So like I live in San Jose, but I'm in West San Jose, which is right by Campbell, which is where my brother lives. So we're that close that I'm that close to Campbell. There's a restaurant in downtown Campbell called Equis, and it's a chain here apparently, but I absolutely love it.
What is
Amazing
it?
food.
What kind of food?
Mexican food, which of course, like being in Tucson for so long. Mhm.
Mhm.
Safety, finding that safe place to be able to go to when I wanna eat.
I wanna eat. There is like amazing Asian food of every possible variety up here.
Mhm. Here too.
And it's, very next level for me having come from the Midwest and then mostly the Southwest, where it's like, if you said Asian food, people would frown at you. Like it's Cantonese or it's Szechuan, like it's down to like the geographical area, not even the country, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of different iterations on Chinese. So there's wonderful Asian food, but we've not found any Asian restaurants that have really wowed us yet. We got probably half a dozen amazing Japanese places, or there's a lot of great places for xiaolongbao, some soup dumplings, and yada yada. So great Asian stuff. But we're still looking for like, where do you go for breakfast in Seattle that doesn't cost $7,000 and end up fine, but not worth $7,000? Like, we're working on it. If anybody's been to Seattle and you've got some food recommendations, send them my way.
Yeah, there's so many different
Mm.
cultures here, and there's so many different types of restaurant. Right up the street from me within walking distance, I'm pointing like you can see. Right up the street from me within walking distance is an Ethiopian place.
Nice,
I mean,
nice.
so I'm like, I love Ethiopian food and I haven't had it in a long time. So I'm gonna make it a mission that at least once a month I'm gonna have lunch or dinner at some culturally different restaurant from my own culture. That's not just the Keys because I love it there, but and that's also a place my brother really likes. He and his wife really like a lot. But trying different cultures and different kinds of food just to experience different things because there's so much here.
I know my biggest cultural faux pas yet. I always used to, when I was a kid, we learned that all martial arts were called karate. So my son is in Taekwondo, and I've called it karate a few times, and it'll just get corrected. Most people are very polite about it. And one lady was even like, "Karate is Japanese, taekwondo is Korean." My bad. But
You just call them all karate?
yeah, I just like I always learn that it's all just karate. Everything's a branch of karate, and that's apparently not true. And slight microaggression to the Japanese and Korean people all around me. So
Yeah. So I know jujitsu. Is that Japanese?
I know it's at least in heavy part influenced by Brazil, or there's a Brazilian style of jujitsu.
I'm gonna look it up.
Where
And
did it start?
and and then if I just did a racism, I'm gonna take it out.
No, you got to leave it.
Where's jujitsu from? Um,
Jujitsu is Japanese, and then
Ew, I was right.
yeah, and then it took off in Brazil, and there's kind of a Brazilian jujitsu.
Okay. Yeah, so I actually trained in jujitsu for 8 months, and when I was a
What?
kid, I was in karate for, like, 3 days when I was a kid. A
Karate,
woman
karate, Japanese
and then
karate, or taekwondo?
it was actual karate in my hometown. I was, like, I don't know how old I was, but I was, like, maybe a preteen, and I got kicked in the stomach by a female fighter that was, you know, 5 years older than me or something like that. Knocked the wind out of me, I never went back. I was
Wow.
Mhm. But yeah, but I did jujitsu as an adult for 8.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's my thing. I ask my wife and kids to correct me every time I say karate instead of taekwondo, and
Well,
it's like at least half a dozen times a week.
don't
Because
do
I'm an
it.
old man and my brain doesn't adapt to new things very well. You feel old. My knees are bothering me now. Like, what the hell is that, David?
My hips lock up, and I don't know what that is. I know.
I have felt young, 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 and then I hit 45, and it's just like, oh my God, my
Dude,
body does not work anymore.
mine started doing that at 35 though, but I have to exercise and I have to get massage and I have to really take care of myself or my body's like, "Girl, what are you doing?" like screaming at me. One of the things I want to say, going back to the one topic we were talking about, it's not necessarily a cultural faux pas, but something, and I don't know if this is your experience in Seattle, but something that I'm having a lot of trouble getting used to is people's lack of spatial awareness. Like,
Yes.
they will be right on top of you. There's been 3 times over the last 3 weeks that I've been here that I'm walking my dogs, and there will be somebody who zooms past me walking. Somebody who's, like, maybe 20 years older than me, but they, like, zoom past me walking while I have my dogs, and I'm like, "Hey, you scared the hell out of me. I didn't know you were there." And B, what if my dogs got scared and my dogs would never do this, you know my dog, but what if they got scared and lunged at you or something like that? Like, and they're so close to you, and I'm like, "Get away from me."
Mhm.
That
It's a
happened in
very,
Seattle.
very different relationship to space, and I think part of it is the 20 years older piece. Like, there's a big respect your elders kind of awareness, which kinda means if you're older, you do whatever you want, and it's just such a difference. Like, going to Costco and the way people behave in Costco up here, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're gonna drive me nuts." But it's just very much like it's like respect you can do no wrong if you are older, and everyone kind of works around you, and it's something to adapt to.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's funny because it's not just, older people too. I feel like it's
Oh, really?
a lot of different cultures
Hmm.
that
Have
it's
different
just it's
values around space?
yeah. Well, and what's interesting too about, and I don't know where it's like where you are, but the population is so condensed here. So like there's so many people living at one space. Like you can't drive down pretty much any street, like any residential street, and not have cars lined all the way down the road parked in front of houses and around. Like even the apartment complex I live in, like the parking lot is full and there's cars lined all around it
Yeah.
on the street. Is that the same in Seattle?
Yes, I found, like, the one neighborhood that's not like that. Little tiny neighborhood in the middle of urban, 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 and super packed, so this is, like, the one little suburban utopia out here.
Be nice. Good job.
It's insane, and we gotta really they must have had trouble renting it or something because the price for rent versus the price to buy anything out here. It's like we're
And
gonna enjoy this place while we can because we cannot afford a $1.5 million house when we are ready for that.
so are you renting it or did you buy it?
Yeah, yeah, we're renting. You got any burning topics for upcoming weeks? We're off next.
Oh, I don't know about that. Not exactly.
It's weird, right? Because like I don't know, all the things I want to talk about, or maybe things that have come up at work, but I don't know if anybody's watching or.
Well, that's the thing with me too. It's like there's certain stuff we can't share because of confidentiality and that kind of thing.
I had somebody just today who was like, it was a new hire, and she's like, "Oh, I've seen your podcast." And I'm like,
No. What?
"Uh huh."
We haven't been active in a little while.
I don't know if it was this or if it was some other like a guest spot that I've done somewhere else or whatever, but I didn't want to
There's
ask.
probably still some
Just
on the
like, great, good for you, girl.
there's probably still some on this website. We're
Yes.
immortalized there, I bet you.
You. Did I say that out loud?
Brian Drzwicki. Yeah. So what do you think we should do?
I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Like I said, I have all these things all the time where I'm like, oh, we should talk about that on the podcast. But then I'm like, just came up at work. I don't want to make things awkward by diving in and over analyzing.
I think one of the things I'm gonna do is I know that in the podcast we ask people to engage. I think because so recently, because I've been doing all this moving and I've been posting updates and stuff like that, I got a badge, like some kind of badge of like I'm getting more notice on Facebook. And so I'm like, cool. I can use that to my advantage to start to do this. I took a picture of me in the sunset last night and I posted it just talking about the gratitude I had for being here and that I finally feel like I'm settled here after a month. It's been a month, dude, that I've been here. But I got like over 100 reactions on my Facebook post. So I think I should make a post, just a post without our podcast. It just says, hey, we're looking for ideas for our podcast. These are some of the, I mean, what do you want to hear about? What do you want to hear Ryan and I talk about?
Hmm.
And have people engage that way versus asking in a podcast because maybe not everybody listens to the whole thing and they don't hear us asking for, hey, give us ideas. But not everybody engages, but a lot of the people who've been liking and commenting my post do engage and they comment and they, yeah, it's probably easier to get engagement that way. So that's one idea I have that I may put a post tomorrow saying, hey, Ryan and I are back at it. I'm going to post a new episode this weekend, but we want ideas. Give us some ideas of what you want us to talk about, whether it be about leadership, whether it be about therapy, whether it be about Jesus. I don't really want to talk about Jesus, but I want to hear people's ideas if they have them. You
Your
know,
own
do
personal.
you have any thoughts about really? Here, stop listening. Do you have any ideas about
No, I think that's great because I think otherwise we're forced to like pull from recent experience, and it just
we
has the
can't do
potential
that.
to be weird. It's better to like better for somebody to just lob some topics at us. Otherwise, I'll be like, you know what I talked about with Joey the other day, and then Joey's listening, and it gets weird.
Well, I'm gonna find out from Joey because that's my brother's name.
I know. I realized that after I said it. Crazy. What does Joey want us to talk about?
Joey will never watch this.
But what does he want us to talk about?
Trying to think.
Ask him if you ever had a question for two therapists to debate while you're not in the room and are paying attention. What would it be? Do you feel like being a being back in a leadership role will make you a stronger therapist?
I think it will. I think it will for sure. See, that's the stuff that we can't use because we're already identifying things that if somebody watches it, they're like, "Oh, I know who that's about."
All right. What else you got, David? Anything else? Anything
I
you want to
think
say to our
that's it
people?
for me tonight. I am going to open my door because it's humid in my apartment because of course it is. There's no AC here. You have AC there?
Yeah, we got AC here.
No AC. So I have to open my doors and run fans, which is fine because it's usually not that bad, but it's been hot lately. So it's stuffy in here. So I've got to open my back door so it'll feel good in here again and feed my dogs and get ready for bed because it's right about that time.
Yay.
So you're on vacation next week, so I will see you the following week.
Sounds good to
And
me.
we may switch. It doesn't to people listening. It doesn't matter, but we may switch to Monday. So I'll text you. You want me to text you Sunday or Monday?
Text me Sunday. That first week might be tricky just because we're just getting back, but
Mm.
I'm sure we can switch to Monday.
Okay. If not Monday, then Friday because those are the day. I know. I know you don't like to mess with your weekends.
Gross.
Do you view this as work? Does this feel like work to you?
No, it doesn't. It feels lovely.
Mm,
If it was work, I would have just said, let's not do it tonight. But I had to catch up with David Cato because I barely talked to you in a month.
yeah. Yeah.
I've
No,
heard
I'm
all
really.
about your favorite restaurant and all that good stuff. When are you coming to Seattle?
Probably not soon, but eventually.
Come to Seattle.
I got to build up vacation time. I got to earn it.
Sure. Now find a conference out here. There's probably a conference out here. I just went to a conference. Great
Ew.
times.
You know how I feel about conferences.
Yeah, me too.
I only want to go if I'm the
You
star.
know, you know who was at the conference?
Don't you do it.
Wife.
Who?
What?
Who?
Mayday.
Mayday! I was so afraid you were going to say a different name. I love Mayday. Did you talk to her? Did you talk to her?
I did.
Did
I
you
did.
fangirl over me?
Yes.
Did you? Tell me.
Uh-huh.
Say more.
I just saw her and I was like, David Cato! And she was like, David Cato. I think you actually did come up though.
I know she's not on social media, so I don't know that she has any idea what I'm doing.
I think she asked something about you, and I think I told her where you were at, and I don't know if she knew, but she knows now.
How did she respond? Was she happy?
Yeah, I think
Well,
she was. We were talking about, moving on to bigger and better things and all of
I
that.
feel like she was the last version of trauma informed leadership I had before you and Dane came along.
Did before a change in
Yeah.
tone for a
And
while there.
there was a big gap of years during that time. But she was incredible. She really was. I'm sure she still is. I just don't.
Most likely. All right. Well, people,
All right, bro.
this
All right,
was
people.
therapy code, I think.
All right. And Ryan's gonna have a studio soon. Oh, there's a dog. Hi, baby.
Hello, dog.
Ryan's gonna have a studio soon, and I'm gonna have my studio set up, and it's gonna be amazing. Say bye to
Yay.
Colby.
Jazz hands.
Bye.
Bye.